India's luxury segment has been growing very rapidly, though not in tune with the number of millionaires or billionaires that we have in the country. One car manufacturer among the three German top luxury manufacturers is Mercedes that has been leading the way for last 7 years. And today I have here with me the managing director and CEO of Mercedes Benz India. Thank you so much for joining ET Auto to talk about what has really helped them, hold the pole position for more than 7 years now. You have the highest number of product portfolio. How many for this year?
Yeah, we have had a very strong quarter one of this year. We have an order bank at the moment which sits around 5,000 cars. We have very strong and healthy demand and great and strong and new products. So with that in mind, we have clearly set for us a target to have the strongest year we ever have had in India. In the best year, 2018, we sold around 15,500, and we want to cross that mark, and I think we are on track to do so.
How many models will you launch this year?
This year we have planned 10 models to launch, so 3 are done. We have a lot of very interesting products in our pipeline. Of course, the one which we have most spoken about and which I'm personally also most excited about is when we start with our locally produced EQS, then the electric S-Class. That is the car which I really look forward very much, which comes then in the second half of the year.
Because with the luxury car segment that attracts heaviest taxes, be it on import or be it GST, which is almost to the tune of 48%. With electric, if you are doing local assembly, it will reduce to 5%. So do you think the segment will further heat up in with electric vehicles?
I think it is a very good idea and very helpful that we have at the moment the preferential GST treatment on electric cars, because it will take several years till we have proper adoption. At the moment many manufacturers are building their pipeline. We do it in the luxury segment, others do it also in other segments. It will take time from providing the portfolio till actual adoption, because customers will take time. They need to see how it works. They want to talk with their friends, and so it takes some time, and in these times it's very helpful to have the support of reduced GSTs, and that is to some extent for us then a clear motivation also to come with the locally produced EQS. That gives us an opportunity to offer the product at a price we believe will be attractive to many of our top-end customers. And then we'll see over the years how that further progresses. But I see clearly if we had a continued say incentivized GST or reduced GST over the next couple of years, it will certainly help to develop the electric car markets across all portfolios. Without that, it would be much more difficult.
How do you see, the PLI scheme working out for luxury car makers? Because you guys have already invested in India, you have idle capacity lying. So what would be your message to the government when it comes to PLI scheme, so that the luxury car manufacturer can also leverage this opportunity?
Yeah, I think first of all, it is a very good program that was set up to focus on the one hand on electrification of products, and at the other end to also facilitate the export of vehicles and the production increased footprint. As you mentioned already, for us it's a little bit difficult to participate in that program. We have invested into our factory over the last years 2,600 crore, and we don't use the full capacity at this point in time. So we have a technical capacity which is well around 40,000 cars, and we have never built many more than 15 or 18,000. So in that sense, we don't have a need to invest additionally in order to produce additionally. And one of the core criteria for the PLI schemes is that manufacturers should invest around 2,000 crores to take the benefit of it. We see at this stage not the possibility to do so, and there is no ways that the existing investment can be attributed to the new products or the electric vehicles. We will continue investing into electric vehicles, and that will be dedicated on the electric vehicles, but we just don't get into the number of 2,000 crore which we can see at the moment. That's why we also did not apply. Of course, the question would come: why you're not just exporting vehicles and then have a higher volume and potentially invest additionally there? You have to understand the mechanisms how most OEMs and us, we also work. You have first place to have a very strong domestic market, so it actually makes sense to localize tools and production there for local consumption, and then you add export volumes on top, because export, as always, and we know that even more than in the past, has a lot of dependencies of logistics costs, trade agreements, and so forth. So currency exchange rates. So there's a lot of impacts which go into the overall business case of an export-oriented factory. So you need to have first a proper and strong local production, and in that sense. We have unfortunately not yet reached that strong local production, and if you ask me about the government, just one sentence here, the focus on premium luxury to actually allow growth in that segment is very important, so that we have significantly higher volumes, which would then enable us also to have higher levels of localization and products than domestic.
Since in electric vehicles, local assembly will incur only 5% GST. So do you think the cost parity between ICE and electric vehicle will come closer faster in luxury segment, or you think that?
At the moment, it's very hard to tell, because we have seen on the one hand efficiencies which come out of that. We have government incentives. On the other hand, lithium prices and battery prices have not developed as say positively as maybe a couple of years ago the prognosis was. So in that sense, I think it is at the moment unclear when we can, not completely clear. You can ask many different outlets what is their view on price parity or cost parity. So I think we're still having to wait quite substantial amount of years till we hit that. But of course, at the same time, the reduced GST will help to limit the gap between the cost side of things. So in simple terms, I think electric vehicles will, for the foreseeable future, be more expensive to build, to produce, and I think still quite a bit more expensive, without putting here a sticker to that, because it depends on so many influences, and it will need the support of say incentives like the reduced GST to come somehow close to a parity position.
Thank you, Martin, for talking to ET Auto. It was a pleasure. I wish you all the very best.